Hey guys, welcome to a special series of the No Dishes podcast. We're here at the PrimeTime Expo at Switchyard Park, presented by the Bloomington Chamber of Commerce. We're about to sit down with 6 local restaurants, all slinging samples here, and find out about the people behind the grub.
Hey, say, honey, let's go out to eat. Relieve our culinary duties. With all these restaurants to sweep us off our feet, they're bound to turn us into foodies. No dishes, no dishes, no dishes. We'll have a bottle of wine, relax and have a good time. No dishes, no dishes.
All right, we're back here at the PrimeTime Expo with Garnish Catering. Leah, Beebe, the general manager. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, of course.
You guys, you guys are here sampling, right?
Yep.
What are some of the stuff people can find?
So we have our bacon wrapped chorizo dates, and those are like a favorite top like menu choice that people choose. We also have these tater kegs, which are really good.
All right.
A newer menu item, which is prosciutto wrapped around some melon. So it's like a nice, fresh, airy item for the summertime. And then we have some bruschetta. So a couple different options.
Sweet. I'm really looking forward to getting over there. That's been the hardest part about doing this.
Yeah.
Is that last hour I got to go. Hope there's some samples left.
I definitely tried some earlier. So
yeah, well, hey, it's quality control.
Exactly.
You have to, it's part of the job.
I had to make sure it was all good to go.
That's very selfless of you.
Yeah.
So how long have you been in your role of GM at Garnish?
Just over a year.
Awesome.
Yep. And then I've been at Garnish for just over 2 years now.
Now, is Garnish a continuation of what was Terry's Catering? Is that right?
Yeah, so we're still pretty much do everything the same good quality, customer service. We do the same type of events. And so we were able to really, they had a great clientele. So we were able to kind of carry that over. And we still have people calling and they're like, is this Terry's? And so they have a very good reputation, and so we're very fortunate.
That's great. What are you said some of the same type of events? What are the events that typically Garnish Catering is out doing?
So we do a lot of events for Kelly School of Business.
Nice.
We're there almost several times a week, so that's great. And then we do weddings, rehearsal dinners, birthday parties, celebration of life, really anything from small to big, we'll do it.
You name it. What's if I needed to cater a little no dishes business lunch, what's your minimum?
So our minimum's 25, but we do like to work with people. We'll get some people that we've never worked with and say they have a meal for 15. We'll be flexible with them because we want to get that business with new clients and stuff. Yeah. So we try to work around what people need.
Yeah, that's great. Nobody wants to ever say no.
I know.
You know
it's
what I mean?
Really hard. There's very few times that we'll say no. We have to be extremely busy or something to say no. So
I like that you guys have that flexibility. Nothing frustrates me more when I go to a place that's well, this is just it's cut and dry. It's you're allowed to change things anyway.
Exactly.
I won't go on my whole soapbox.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think are we're gonna be talking with Travis, TJ Leonard, who's the back of house. So you're more front of house.
Yes.
What does that typically entail in your kind of day to day?
So like I said, I'm the general manager. So, I handle just overseeing everybody for Garnish, but I also do a good amount of our sales. So I work with all of our wedding clients, and then I do some IU events, kind of mostly wedding, but I also manage 2 of our venues that we have in Bloomington as well. So I kind of do a little bit of everything, and then we have an operations manager that's out on events and stuff. So front of house is more working directly with the client prior to the event, and then we pass that along to our operations manager and serving staff for the day of.
Sweet. What are the venues?
So Sycamore Farms, which we recently took over.
Yeah. Okay. That's awesome.
Yeah. So we took that over beginning of this year. And that's been, I love doing weddings. So that's been perfect for me. And then the Indiana Limestone Building down in Bedford, which is a new venue that's starting to get booked with events. So those are the 2. Yep.
That's so cool. I've been as a guest at Sycamore Farm. We also done ice cream there, and it's one of the coolest venues, and it's it's country, but it's still in town.
Yeah.
So it's
and there's a lot of barn venues in like Bloomington, but you have like down in Bedford and stuff. So it's nice that it's one kind of more local and like you don't have to drive as far out. So
yeah, that's why I love doing this. I don't even know that stuff, and then I get to find out fun things through the podcast.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Awesome. Well, that's I bet you guys are going to crush it.
Yeah. So, we're getting into busy season. So.
Yeah. Is there, if someone did Garnish Catering, is there like, do you have like a dream menu that like if you were putting one together, you're like, oh, these are the heavy hitters?
I mean, I always like when people, like we get, like, we have our menu online, and some people will just be like, this is what I want, hors d'oeuvres, full menu, like they give us everything. And then we have some people that are like, just put together something that you would recommend. And so that's sometimes where like, I can go to Travis and say like, hey, like, do you have a new menu item you want to like, or just do you have something that you've been working on? And like, so we can kind of get new ideas out there and kind of put together things that might be a little bit different than we normally would. So I kind of like being able to do that.
Yeah.
With clients. Yeah. That's
sweet. Well, and speaking of sweets, we've talked a lot about savory. Yes. What are some of the like dessert stuff you guys do? Because are you is Underground Cupcake kind of help you guys, or because you also have Feast and Beebe's Market under the umbrella, right? Yeah,
so Underground kind of merged with Beebe's Market. So now like Ashley is our pastry chef over there. So we have a lot of events, like we can do our own desserts, but for anything specialty, kind of more high end, she can do pretty much anything. She's amazing. So like for graduation, we have a lot of custom sheet cakes, things like that, cupcakes. So we'll reach out to them and work with them and come up with different ideas and stuff like that. So they'll do anything from like oatmeal cream pies or like cake pops, things like that. So
oh man, every time I go into Feast or Beebe's, it's just it's such a struggle.
I highly recommend going in there because there's like a whole like shelf full of desserts.
Yeah, it's like case
hard to pick one
after case. After case,
exactly.
I did Feast the other day. It was like a lemon cheesecake with strawberry on it.
Sounds so good.
I know.
Yeah, Feast is like one of my favorite restaurants that we have. So
yeah, no, that's one too where it's just like, I don't know. It's always been so good. Yeah. Even after, endeavors, it's just continued to just stay great.
And they have like a seasonal menu too that changes, and there's fresh ingredients. It's really good. So you could go there every day.
Eric Bueno knows what he's doing. We got to give him a shout out.
He does.
While
he knows
we're talking
exactly
about
what he's doing. Yeah.
So are you from Bloomington originally, or what's kind of your story? How did you end up getting to Garnish?
So I grown up, I'm originally from Michigan, but grew up in Indiana and then kind of moved around. And then after college, I graduated from Ball State and moved to Indianapolis and worked at a catering company up there. And they did tons of, like, they're one of like the elite catering companies up there. And that's kind of where I got my foot in the door with events and stuff, and didn't think I'd want to be in the food industry. And that kind of changed my perspective on things. And once I did that, I just couldn't go back. So I was somebody that wasn't fit for a desk job. So being in the event industry, everything's different. Every event's different. You're busy all the time. So it was kind of like just made the decision easy for me. So then I moved down here in 2019 and worked at IU a little bit in athletics doing events. And then after Terry's was bought, moved into the position at Garnish. So that's how I ended up here.
That's so sweet. You kind of read my mind, because I was thinking, like, what is it that made you feel like that you love about events? But yeah, everything's different.
I never thought I'd say like I wanted to be in the wedding industry and stuff like that, but here we are. So
hey, life has a way of just finding where you should belong. Well, it was so great chatting with you. We're going to get Travis on here.
Yeah, he's excited.
Enjoy the rest of the expo.
Right,
Thanks, Leah. Yeah. All right, we're back here at the PrimeTime Expo, part 2 of Garnish Catering with Travis Leonard. What's your actual title? I know you're the back of house. You kind of run the food stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Title is executive chef. I kind of oversee pretty much all the catering that goes out of the house, and I also oversee the fresh fork operation that we do, all the meal preparation. We kind of work with specialty dietary kind of things. So just pretty much, overseeing what happens back there, working with the guys.
Sweet. How long have you been there?
I've been with Garnish Catering for coming up on a year now.
Okay.
I transferred over from Beebe's Market.
I think where we first met.
Yes, absolutely. So transferred over from there. Before there, I've been doing the Fresh Fork gig for many years now. So it's kind of a crazy road that's brought me here, and it's working well. So
that's great. So I forgot you guys did the Fresh Fork stuff.
Yes.
Leah and I didn't talk about it at all. So I feel like it's a great opportunity that we can kind of chat about what Fresh Fork is, what people can expect. Because I had it once before it was under the Endeavor umbrella.
Okay.
Tell me a little bit about what people can expect, what Fresh Fork is.
Yeah. So, big story shortened, it's pretty much prepackaged, pre-cooked, pre-portioned meals that customers can come in, pick up. throw it in their microwave, and they've got a hot dinner ready for them. So, we kind of cater towards anybody from the busy college student to the soccer parent that's running around all day to the person that hates cooking. We do all kinds of vegetarian, vegan options. We do the gluten-free, pork, everything you can think of we've got on our menu, and we're getting ready to expand it very well too. But, pretty much anything that you can want that's pre-cooked, pre-portioned, pre-packaged. So, we got a lot of people counting macros and such. And, so that kind of thing. Just specialty diets, anything you need that can, fall under any kind of dietary restriction, really.
Yeah, you're talking my language.
Yeah.
That's if there's anything that's no dishes.
Yeah, exactly, man. Yeah. If you feel like doing the dishes, we do the microwavable safe Tupperware and stuff. So, but that's what we're talking about.
Cool. Well, I'm gonna have to put an order in. How far ahead do you have to order? Do you guys have minimums?
Yeah, no minimums at all. The only thing is you got to have that order in. We do online orders on Tuesdays, but we also offer a subscription service that we do on Mondays. So if you want to subscribe to a month worth of food, we can have that ready on Mondays for you every Monday for a month. Other than that, the online orders are Tuesdays. Just have that order in before Tuesday, essentially.
All right. I hope you're writing that down for me, Gary. I'm going to go back and watch this because I need to get some orders in. I've done some meal prep stuff before.
Yeah.
It's great. I don't know. Again, you listed off all these categories of people it's great for, but the one was someone that likes to cook.
Yeah.
But I don't have time, like you said.
Yes, exactly. If you don't have the time, then, you can still, I'll let you take credit for it. We've had people, toss our stuff in the oven real quick to refreshen it for 5 minutes and take credit for it, and I'm totally fine by that.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I'm going to have to do that next time I have a date where it's like, oh, here's a little home-cooked meal.
Absolutely. Yeah, get a hold of me and we'll come up with something real nice for you.
Oh, yeah, I knew you'd be my number one wingman.
Absolutely. I got you, man.
I appreciate it. So some of the things we talked about with Leah is just doing weddings and all these awesome events you guys do. Tell me about what it goes into creating that menu for events like in a wedding.
Yeah, so essentially what it really comes down to is what they want. We're willing to work with anything they want. And really, if they want something that doesn't work, we'll kind of try to point them in the right direction. So, if they're trying to get something that's way out of season, something watermelon based in the middle of the winter, for instance, I'm going to say, hey, we can do that if you'd like, but here's a suggestion. Let's go with the butternut squash route. Instead of doing the prosciutto, let's do the bacon. Kind of a seasonality thing. But really, at the end of the day, we'll work with whatever the clients want.
That's great. So what's your background? I know you came from Beebe's Market.
Yeah.
When did you kind of first get into food and knowing that you wanted to cook and prepare awesome stuff that put smiles on people's faces?
Yeah, so I grew up cooking with my parents. I was always in the kitchen with my mom, always on the grill with my dad. So that inspiration really comes from them. All the food that I put out, I'm always thinking about, what they taught me growing up, just all the basics. And then I started professionally really with the Fresh Fork on the back of the house side. Fresh Fork, doing all the large orders that we would send out to the campus, all the dorms. Did Fresh Fork for a handful of years, and then we were acquired by the Endeavor Group, and that's when I transferred over to Beebe's and started really working on the line.
Okay, cool. See, I didn't know that you had been with Fresh Fork before Endeavor.
Yeah, almost since the inception. I'm trying to think of the year right off the bat, but it's probably 2016, 2017. I think I started with Fresh Fork about 6 months after it opened the stores. I worked under some awesome people there. Brittany was managing the place when I came on, and then once she left, I kind of took over the reins there, and still working on it. Many years later, but still loving it too.
Here we are. So Leah told us about some of the amazing things you're sampling today.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about maybe some out of the ones here today, but like what people can see out of your menu? What some of your staples are, things that you really enjoy preparing?
Yeah. We've got a couple. So one of my favorite things to prepare is the hors d'oeuvres. Maybe it's because hors d'oeuvres are really easy to make look pretty on a plate.
Right.
But, it's hard to say for sure what I love doing the most. What we did today was some bacon wrapped dates. I don't know if you got over there to try those or not.
Yeah, but with chorizo, right?
Yeah, the date is stuffed with chorizo, wrapped in bacon, and we par bake it for a minute, and then hit it with some maple syrup to kind of get that sweet, spicy, salty. So that's a real staple that we do tons of. We always have fun making those. A lot of labor goes into it, but it's a labor of love.
There you go.
Yeah, so anything that we can really make look pretty on a plate is kind of what I'm having fun with recently, at least.
Sweet. If you go back over there and you're running low, set one aside for me.
All right, absolutely.
If there's one thing I ask.
Absolutely. I'll see what they've got over there. If not, I'll hook you up for sure.
Cool. I appreciate it. Are you from Bloomington originally?
I'm originally from Fort Wayne.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Moved down here when I was 18 for college and decided that was not working for me. Dropped out, and that's when I started working with the Fresh Fork. I got linked up with, I think, J.R. Ricker of In Bloom Juicery.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's how we first met.
Yeah, it is. J.R. got me hooked up with the Thompson family that originally owned the Fresh Fork, and that's really how I got into it. So, crazy road, but Fresh Fork to Bloomington. I thought I was moving back to Fort Wayne at one point, and this industry has kept me in it, man.
That's great. Dude, I mean, same story. Came down here for friends in school, and decided college wasn't for me, and then just been in the industry ever since, and haven't regretted it a day. It's just great, man. And there's something about just working with food, working with events, the hectic, controlled chaos.
Absolutely. There's no feeling like it, getting through that crazy rush, and exactly. That's a good way to put it. That controlled chaos, the absolute, all the intangibles that go into it is what makes it fun, what keeps you in it.
Keeps you on your toes. It's not monotonous. It's not the same old stuff over and over.
Absolutely, man.
What is there anything that you want people to know about Garnish that we haven't covered?
I think I mentioned it, but I'd love people to know that we're willing to work with anybody for anything. Any kind of dietary restriction that somebody can come up with, I'd love to do my research on it and figure it out. Whatever that may be. If it's a 400-person event entirely vegan, I'd love to come up with 8 different options so that everybody can get exactly what they want. Whatever it may be, I'd love to let people know that I'm willing to work with whatever I can.
A man of the people.
Yeah,
I love it.
Try to be. Yep.
Travis, thanks so much. I'll see you over at the table here, sir.
Absolutely, Jordan.
Appreciate it, bud.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us in the latest episode of the No Dishes podcast. Do you like what you heard? Be sure to write a review, rate us, subscribe, like, whatever it is that you do to show your support. We really appreciate it. Until next time, be sure to keep those hands dry. This episode of the No Dishes podcast was recorded, edited, and produced by Garrett Portinga of Green Hat Media in beautiful downtown Bloomington, Indiana.
No Dishes Media.
No Dishes Media.